Brian, just a bit of a catch-up on what's happening down here at Rugby Southland. Firstly, clarify the position with the potential renting of the ground to Rugby League. There's a little bit of confusion as to what went on then. Give us the full story.
Well, it was unfortunate. We'd had a booking in place for quite a few months on the Saturday, because that was the schedule we'd been given, and we'd worked around that, organising staff, etc. for that Saturday game. And also the fact that we'd factored in our game, the ITM Cup game, so that we needed a certain amount of time to actually turn the ground around and the facility around for that. What happened was, the week of that game, they've come to us and said, we want the Sunday. And we said, well, hang on, you booked the Saturday. So it didn't really fit in, because we don't have the staff. That's the unfortunate thing, to turn a ground around overnight. The bigger facilities do, and you'll notice in a stadium like Dunedin or Auckland or Wellington, a large number of staff come in immediately after the game and start turning the ground around so that they can actually do that. We have 2 staff basically that do that.
Let's talk about the money then. Rental fee of $2,000 sounds a lot to some people, but not much to others. So put that in context for me.
We're obviously financially responsible for this facility, especially the grounds and the facility, looking after that. We have an agreement with the Outdoor Stadium Trust, and part of the agreement is we manage the facility on their behalf, and we have to look at our financial position, because it does cost us to actually open the facility, prepare grounds, make sure there's a clean up, etc. So again, what we're looking at is being financially vigilant and sustainable. What we charge is basically what it costs us. We're not trying to make money out of that. We're just basically charging what it's going to cost us.
So you've got a management contract and you've got to abide by it.
That's right, yes we do, and that's all part of it in the agreement. What people probably don't understand totally is that we look after this part of the facility, the grounds, and maintain those. So that is a cost factor to us, and when you are preparing a ground and you have to prepare it a number of times, that adds to the cost. So even turning the ground around was an issue, but it also, you've got to look at the costs associated with it. We've got to have staff on deck on the weekend, preparing the ground, turning the ground around, changing the line markings, cleaning up, the change rooms, the toilets, etc. You've got to disinfect them. So there's all that sort of thing comes into it as well.
All right, let's talk about specifically Rugby Southland's financial position. A statement came out last week from the chairman that you're having to relook at things once again. How are you placed at the moment?
Well, we'd budgeted quite well for this season, and we'd budgeted on certain income streams, and part of our income streams are around this time of year, which is related to the game. We were tracking a little bit behind coming into this period, and we thought we'd make up with crowd attendance and game day. We had budgeted very low for that, so we thought we'd actually make some ground here. After the first 2 games, we realised that is not the situation, and we're actually still tracking behind. So it's what we're looking at is making sure that we're financially sustainable for the future and ongoing. So we are looking at, we may have to make some adjustments to make sure that we meet budget for this year. So that's what that's about. We're looking to make sure that we're accountable and financially sustainable for the future.
So adjustments in expenditure you're talking about to counter the lack of revenue?
That's right, and unfortunately, and I think you've seen it around the communities all throughout New Zealand, it is tight, and our income streams have been reduced due to that. Sponsorship is down, and part of that sponsorship relates to obviously the Stags, and that income has been down, and we were expecting probably more from that than we've actually achieved. So we have to make adjustments in our expenditure to make sure that we can be sustainable moving forward, and that's something that we're looking at. We're looking at where we can save money in the next few months so that we are back to budget.
I imagine some of the shortfalls have been things that are hard to anticipate, like the form of the team, for instance, the program being quite congested is good for TV, but it's tough to get the punters in like 2 or 3 times a week, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a number of reasons that this can happen. Draw is one of them, and obviously that's good for TV, but it may not be so good for people attending games. The team unfortunately didn't perform as well at the start of the season, and that could have had effect on people turning up. The Thursday night game against Otago, it started to rain just before the game, so again that may have affected the attendance. Having a test match in Dunedin on the Saturday and a game here on the Sunday, that may have affected attendance because we know a lot of people from Southland went to the test. So there's a number of factors involved in that, and you can't pin it on any one, but they probably all contribute.
So it would be handy if a big turnout tomorrow night, perhaps, for the Northland. They're an exciting team to watch, so why not?
Yeah, it'd be great. Like Northland are an exciting team, and they play good rugby. So we're hoping that we get weather like this tomorrow night, and that people will turn out and enjoy a great game.
And important too, if there's the split competition, that if you get in the premiership, you get bigger names down here, don't you? So there is a carrot at the end of the season if we can get up.
That's right, there is. There's a carrot. If we can make the finals of the championship and work our way back in the premiership, yeah, that's a big carrot. And it does have an impact, and I think that's probably another thing that's had an impact on us now that we're down in the championship level. That may have been a factor as well.
No doubt you passed on this message to the funders, because that was one contentious issue, keeping everyone informed. I assume you're doing that?
Yes, I have regular meetings with the funders. They are kept informed monthly of what we're doing and how we're tracking, so they're well aware of the situation and are supporting what we're doing.
Is there any fear, I know this is just sort of rumour around town, that we're going to lose a lot of players because we're just going to struggle to keep them? Do you think there's any reality behind that?
I don't think so. It's hard, and it's probably a question that's very difficult to answer because you're not 100% sure. We're trying to maintain a good team, but we're also trying to make sure that we're within our own financial means to have that. So we've set aside a budget for players, and obviously we have a budget on the other side, but we have come back a long way in our team budget, and we're hoping that we won't lose players, and we're focusing on local players, and that's what we need to do as well.
It seems to be working reasonably well on Otago. They're having a little bit of success, and they've had to rebuild from scratch as well from player point of view. That's
right. Otago's doing extremely well, and they will be. They've brought their budget back as well, and will continue to do so, like we are. And we talk regularly with Otago, so they know where we are and what we're doing, and we understand what they're doing as well.
Well, Brian, one thing I noticed, having been down to this park for many, many years, I've never seen the turf in such good condition. You've obviously invested wisely there.
Yes, we have. We've tried to maintain the ground in good condition. And Russell's done an excellent job. As you can see, the ground is in perfect condition, and it has been for most of the season, and that's by good management as well. Russell's consulted on everything we do, and not having too many games on here, so we schedule well. We've put money into it. The drainage system we've upgraded a little bit so that everything is working well. And we've probably also been fortunate with the weather to a certain extent, but Russell's done a great job, and the facility is excellent at the moment.
It would be terrific too if for some way we could get a home semi-final. Would be great. It's a bit of a long shot, but at the moment on the table, but who knows? Oh,
who knows? And the way the team's performing now, if we can keep performing at that level and win I think it's 2 or 3 more games, we have a good chance of having a semi. And obviously it will depend on results of other teams as well, but we do have a good chance for that.